Most people are lost, not because life is complicated, but because their mind is cluttered. If you ask for clarity, be ready, because clarity will destroy every illusion you are comfortably living in. Have you ever begged the universe for an answer? Prayed desperately for clarity? But the moment life shows you the truth, you resist it. Why? Because clarity does not always bring comfort, it brings reality. Most people do not lack intelligence, they lack inner stillness. Their mind is like a noisy market, full of opinions, fears, and distractions. And in this chaos, they expect clarity to magically appear. Let me tell you the truth. Clarity does not come from outside. It comes when you silence the noise inside. You say, God, give me clarity. But do you even have the courage to accept it? Silence the noise. Imagine standing in the middle of a busy street. Cars honking, people shouting, advertisements flashing from every direction. You're trying to hear your own thoughts, but the world is too loud. This is what most people's minds feel like every single day. They're bombarded with opinions, distractions, fears, and expectations, all screaming at once, leaving no space for clarity. And yet, they wonder why they feel lost. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is grab your phone. Notifications flood your screen. Messages from people, news updates, social media posts, endless information pouring in. Even before your feet touch the floor, your mind is already hijacked by external noise. Someone posted something controversial, a friend sent you a long message, an email demands your urgent attention. And just like that, before you even take a deep breath, your mind is already scattered in 100 different directions. Then you go through your day, constantly checking your phone, scrolling through social media, consuming more and more noise. One moment, you're inspired by a motivational quote. The next, you're comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. One moment, you feel good about yourself. The next, a negative comment from a stranger ruins your mood. The cycle continues. Every conversation, every news article, every random piece of information you absorb adds another layer of noise in your mind. And the more noise there is, the harder it becomes to hear your own voice. Look at a glass of water. If it is still, you can see through it clearly. But if you shake it, if you keep disturbing it, it becomes muddy, unclear. Your mind is the same way. Clarity does not come from adding more, it comes from removing what is unnecessary. But most people do the opposite. They keep adding more opinions, more entertainment, more distractions, believing that somewhere in all this noise they will find the answers they are looking for. Have you ever sat in complete silence? No music, no phone, no conversation, just silence. Try it and you will realize how uncomfortable it feels at first. Your mind will resist it. It will crave distraction. It will start making you feel restless, as if you are wasting time. But why? Because we have become addicted to noise. We've trained our minds to be constantly occupied, to never sit still. But here's the truth. Your greatest insights, your deepest clarity, your most powerful realizations will never come when you are distracted. They will come in moments of silence, when the noise fades away and you are left with nothing but yourself. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they spend their days drowning in distractions? No. They understand the value of silence. They take time to step away from the chaos, to be alone with their thoughts, to listen to their own inner wisdom. They know that clarity cannot be found in the noise of the world, it can only be found within. Imagine two people walking through a dense forest, trying to find their way. One is constantly talking, panicking, making noise. The other remains silent, listening to the sounds of nature, observing the path, paying attention to small details. Who do you think will find the way faster? It is the same in life. Those who are always caught up in the noise will struggle to see the path ahead. But those who embrace silence will notice what others miss. If you want clarity, start by silencing the noise. Take time each day to disconnect from external distractions. Turn off your phone, sit in stillness, observe your thoughts. Let them settle. Do not run away from silence. Embrace it. Because in that silence, you will hear the voice you have been searching for all along. The voice of clarity. The voice of truth. The voice that has been drowned out by the world's noise for far too long. You do not need more information. You do not need more opinions. You do not need more distractions. You need stillness. You need space. You need silence. Because in that silence, everything will become clear. Detach from outcomes. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You water it, give it sunlight and nurture it with care. But what if the very next day, you start digging the soil to check if it has sprouted? What if you grow impatient, demanding it to grow faster? Instead of trusting the process, you become obsessed with the outcome. You question whether the seed will even grow, whether it will become the tree you envisioned. In your desperation, you either overwater it or abandon it altogether. This is what most people do in life. They attach themselves so deeply to outcomes that they ruin the very process that could bring them what they desire. Think about how often you set a goal and then spend every waking moment obsessing over the result. You want to succeed in your career, so you stress over promotions and recognition. You want to find love, so you desperately seek validation from others. You want to be happy, but you keep measuring your happiness based on achievements. And the moment things do not go exactly as planned, you feel defeated, disappointed, even hopeless. But was it the situation that caused your suffering? Or was it your attachment to a specific outcome? When you attach yourself to an outcome, you place your happiness in the future, you tell yourself, I will be happy when I get that job, when I find the perfect partner, when I have more money, when I reach my goals. But life does not work like that. The moment you reach one goal, your mind immediately moves the finish line further. Now there's another goal, another desire, another outcome to chase. And just like that, you spend your entire life running toward a destination that never truly arrives. Look at children. When they play, they are fully immersed in the game. They do not worry about winning or losing. They simply enjoy the act of playing. That is why they experience joy so effortlessly. But as adults, we lose this ability. We attach ourselves so tightly to how things should be that we forget how to simply be. Have you ever tried to control every detail of a situation, only to realize that the more you force it, the more it slips away? Maybe you tried too hard to impress someone and they lost interest. Maybe you were so desperate for success that stress and anxiety clouded your ability to perform well. Maybe you held on too tightly to a relationship that was falling apart, only to push the other person further away. The more you cling, the more resistance you create. But when you let go, when you trust, when you do your best and then surrender, the right things unfold naturally. Detachment does not mean giving up. It does not mean you stop caring. It means you give your best effort, but you do not let the outcome define your worth. It means you take action, but you do not let the result dictate your peace. It means you move forward, but you do not become a prisoner of expectation. A river does not cling to the rocks, trying to control its path. It simply flows, trusting the course it is meant to take. And in that flow, it finds its way to the ocean. Life is the same. The more you resist, the more you suffer. The more you let go, the more life flows in ways you never imagined. Look back at your life. How many things did not go as planned, only to turn out better than you expected? How many disappointments led to something greater? How many times did life surprise you in ways you never saw coming? If you can see this, then you already know. Attachment to outcomes is an illusion. So do your best, love fully, work hard, give your all. But when it is time to let go, let go. When it is time to surrender, surrender. Trust that whatever is meant for you will find its way. And in that trust, you will find freedom. Because the moment you detach from the outcome, you reclaim your peace, your joy, and your power. Face your fears. Fear is like a shadow. It follows you wherever you go. It whispers in your ear, making you doubt yourself, making you hesitate, making you believe you're not strong enough, not capable enough, not worthy enough. It stops you before you even begin. It convinces you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid risks, to settle for less than what you truly desire. But here's the truth. Fear is not real. It is a story your mind creates to protect you from the unknown. And if you let it, it will keep you trapped in a life smaller than the one you were meant to live. Think about the last time you were afraid to do something. Maybe it was speaking in front of an audience. Maybe it was starting a new business. Maybe it was telling someone how you truly feel. Whatever it was, fear gripped you, paralyzed you, made you overthink every possible outcome. You imagined failure, rejection, embarrassment. Your mind created 1,000 scenarios of what could go wrong. And so you hesitated. You backed away. You convinced yourself that waiting was a better option. But did waiting make the fear disappear? No, it only made it stronger. Fear is like fire. If you feed it with doubt, with hesitation, with avoidance, it grows bigger. But if you walk through it, if you face it head on, you realize it was never as big as you imagined. Most people spend their entire lives running from fear, avoiding situations that make them uncomfortable. But what they do not realize is that fear does not go away by avoiding it. It only faded when you confront it. Look at a baby learning to walk. The first few steps are shaky. The baby stumbles, falls, gets hurt. But does the baby stop? No. Because fear has not yet taken over the mind. The baby keeps trying, keeps falling, keeps rising again, until one day walking becomes effortless. But as we grow, we learn fear. We start believing in failure more than in possibilities. We stop trying because we are afraid of falling. And that is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. The ones who succeed are not fearless. They are just willing to walk through fear. Think about the greatest moments of your life, the moments that made you feel alive, the moments that changed you. Were they easy or did they require you to step into the unknown? Every great thing you desire in life exists on the other side of fear. Love, success, freedom, growth. All of it demands that you walk through your fears instead of running from them. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a cliff. You know that on the other side, there is a beautiful place, a place where you will become everything you dream of. But in between, there is a bridge. And that bridge is your fear. Now you have two choices. You can stand there forever, looking at what could be, wishing you had the courage to cross. Or you can take the first step, no matter how scared you feel. Most people choose the first option. They live their lives on the edge, looking at their dreams, but never walking toward them. But those who dare to step forward, those who choose to face their fears, they are the ones who truly live. Fear is not meant to stop you. It is meant to challenge you. It is meant to test whether you are truly ready for what you desire. The more you resist fear, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you stop running, the moment you turn around and look it in the eye, you realize it was never as powerful as you thought. What if, instead of avoiding discomfort, when you stepped into it, what if, instead of letting fear control your life, you used it as fuel to push yourself forward? The only way to defeat fear is to face it. Do the thing that scares you. Take the risk. Speak up. Show up. Fall down, get back up, and keep moving forward. Because the life you want is waiting for you, but it will not come to you. But most people spend their lives trying to silence it. They avoid it, distract themselves from it, and numb it with temporary pleasures. They think discomfort is something to escape from, but they do not realize that it holds the very wisdom they are searching for. Every great transformation, every significant growth, and every life-changing realization begins with discomfort. The question is, are you listening? Imagine you wake up one day and feel uneasy. You feel stuck, restless, as if something inside you is urging you to move, to change, to do something different. But instead of paying attention, you push it away. You tell yourself, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe this feeling will go away. So you go on with your day, pretending everything is fine. But the discomfort lingers. It whispers to you when you're alone. It follows you when you try to distract yourself. And it grows louder when you refuse to listen. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something needs to change. But most people do not want change. They want comfort. They want security, familiarity, and control. And so they ignore discomfort until it becomes unbearable. They stay in jobs that drain them, relationships that no longer fulfill them, and routines that make them feel empty. They choose comfort over growth, and in doing so, they choose a life that is smaller than what they are capable of living. Look at nature. A snake must shed its skin to grow. A butterfly must struggle to break free from its cocoon. A seed must push through the darkness of the soil to reach the sunlight. None of these processes are comfortable. but they are necessary. If the snake resists shedding, it will not survive. If the butterfly stays in its cocoon, it will never fly. If the seed remains buried, it will never bloom. The same is true for you. Growth will never come from comfort. It will only come when you embrace discomfort and listen to what it is trying to teach you. Think about the last time you felt deeply uncomfortable. Maybe it was when you started a new job and you felt like you didn't belong. Maybe it was when you had to speak in front of a crowd and your heart was pounding. Maybe it was when you ended a relationship and the uncertainty of being alone felt overwhelming. In that moment, you may have wished for the discomfort to disappear. But looking back, wasn't that the moment that pushed you to grow? Didn't that discomfort force you to step up, to learn, to evolve? Discomfort is a teacher, but only if you're willing to be its student. It tells you when you are in the wrong place. It tells you when you need to make a change. It tells you when you are about to step into something greater than yourself. But instead of listening, most people fight it. They try to suppress their feelings with entertainment, food, social media, and distractions. They convince themselves that if they just ignore the discomfort long enough, it will go away. But it never does. It only gets louder, more painful, more urgent, until they have no choice but to face it. Imagine you're standing in the ocean, trying to fight against the waves. The harder you resist, the more exhausted you become. But the moment you stop fighting and start flowing with the waves, everything becomes easier. Life is the same way. Discomfort is not meant to drown you, it is meant to guide you. If you stop resisting it and start listening, you will realize that it is showing you the way forward. Ask yourself, what in your life makes you uncomfortable? Is it a dream you have been avoiding because it feels too big? Is it a truth you have been ignoring because it is too painful to face? Is it a change you know you need to make but you keep delaying it out of fear? Whatever it is, lean into it. Do not run, do not numb, do not distract yourself. Just listen. Because discomfort is not there to stop you, it is there to wake you up. The next time you feel discomfort, do not ask, how can I get rid of this? Instead, ask, what is this trying to tell me? Maybe it is telling you to leave a situation that is no longer serving you. Maybe it is telling you to take a risk that you have been avoiding. Maybe it is telling you that you are meant for something greater. Whatever the message is, trust it, listen to it, and then act on it. Because if you have the courage to listen to discomfort, you will find that it always leads you to exactly where you need to be. Let go of the past. The past is like a heavy bag you carry on your back. Every memory, every regret, every mistake, piled up, weighing you down. And yet you refuse to put it down. You hold on to it as if it defines you. You replay old conversations, relive past pain, revisit lost moments, thinking somehow if you hold on long enough, you will change what happened. But the past cannot be changed. It can only be accepted, learned from, and released. Most people live as prisoners of their past. They let old wounds dictate their present happiness. They let past failures stop them from trying again. They let past betrayals make them afraid to trust. They live in a story that no longer exists, carrying the weight of what was, instead of embracing what is. But here is the truth. Holding on to the past does not protect you. It only keeps you stuck. Imagine walking through a beautiful path, full of opportunities, full of new beginnings, full of everything you ever wanted. But instead of moving forward, you keep turning back. You keep looking behind, searching for something that is no longer there. Every time you take a step, your mind drags you back, reminding you of your failures, your disappointments, your losses. And so, instead of running toward your future, you stand still, trapped in a past that no longer exists. Why do we do this? Why do we hold on to what has already gone? Because we fear letting go. We fear that if we release the past, we will lose a part of ourselves. But what we do not realize is that the past is already gone. It does not exist anywhere except in our minds. And the longer we hold on to it, the more we lose the present moment. Think of a river. The water flows, constantly moving forward, never looking back. If the river stopped flowing, it would become stagnant, lifeless. The same is true for your life. You are meant to move forward, to grow, to evolve. But if you hold on to the past, you become stuck, unable to embrace what is in front of you. Think about the times you were hurt, the moments when someone betrayed you, when you failed, when life took something away from you. Those moments are real. They shaped you, but they do not define you. You are not your past. You are what you choose to become despite it. If you keep replaying your pain, you are not healing. You are keeping the wound open. And a wound that is not allowed to heal will only cause more suffering. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending it never happened. It means accepting that the past cannot be changed and choosing to move forward anyway. It means deciding that your future deserves more attention than your past. It means freeing yourself from the chains of what was, so you can embrace what is. Look at the trees. When autumn comes, they do not fight to keep their leaves. They let them fall, knowing that new growth will come. They do not resist change. They embrace it. But humans, we do the opposite. We hold on. We resist. We cling to what is already left, afraid of the unknown. But just like the trees, we are meant to grow, to change, to evolve. And that only happens when we let go. Think about a relationship that ended, a failure that broke you, a dream that didn't come true. You have two choices. You can let it define you, or you can let it refine you. You can carry the pain forever, or you can take the lesson and move forward. The past will only hold power over you if you allow it to. What if instead of resisting, you simply let go? What if instead of mourning what was, you embraced what could be? What if instead of carrying the past like a burden, you carried it like a lesson? You cannot change what happened, but you can choose what happens next. Letting go is not weakness. It is the greatest act of strength. It is choosing to live, to move, to grow. And the moment you do, you will realize the past was never holding on to you. You were holding on to it. And you always had the power to let go. Be brutally honest. Honesty is not just about telling the truth to others. It is about telling the truth to yourself. And the truth is often uncomfortable, even painful. But without it, you are only living a lie, pretending, avoiding, and running from reality. Most people live in illusions. They convince themselves that things are fine when they're falling apart. They sugarcoat their failures, their weaknesses, their regrets. They create stories to protect their egos, to avoid discomfort, to escape the responsibility of change. But deep down, the truth never leaves them. It lingers in silence, waiting to be faced. Being brutally honest means stripping away every excuse, every justification, every lie you tell yourself to feel better. It means standing in front of the mirror and seeing yourself as you truly are, not as you wish to be. It is not easy, it is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Because without honesty, there is no real growth, no real success, no real freedom. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself you are happy in a situation when you know you are not? How many times have you stayed in a relationship, a job, a lifestyle that does not fulfill you simply because you were too afraid to admit the truth? How many times have you looked away from reality because facing it meant making difficult choices? Honesty is the foundation of every great transformation. You cannot fix what you refuse to see. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot change what you will not admit is broken. The greatest lie you will ever tell is the one you tell yourself. That you are okay when you are not. That you are trying when you are not. That you are growing when you are still stuck in the same patterns. Look at people who succeed, who rise above, who create something meaningful in life. They are not the ones who avoid the truth. They are the ones who confront it. When they fail, they do not make excuses, they own it. When they are wrong, they do not justify, they correct it. When they are lost, they do not pretend to know the way, they admit it and seek guidance. This is the power of brutal honesty. It removes illusions and replaces them with clarity. Imagine you are lost in a forest, but instead of admitting it, you keep telling yourself you know the way. You keep walking in circles, refusing to accept the truth. What happens? You remain lost. But the moment you admit, I do not know where I am, that is the moment you can start finding your way out. The same applies to life. As long as you keep lying to yourself, you remain stuck. The moment you choose brutal honesty, you open the door to real change. But honesty is uncomfortable. It means admitting that maybe you are not putting in enough effort. That maybe your excuses are the only thing standing between you and success. That maybe the people around you are not the problem, you are. And this is why so many people avoid it, because the truth is not always kind. But while lies will make you feel comfortable for a moment, they will destroy you in the long run. The truth may hurt, but it will set you free. Think about a person who refuses to see their unhealthy habits. They tell themselves it's just one more drink, one more cigarette, one more day of procrastination. They live in denial, believing they have control when they do not. And then one day reality forces them to see the damage they have done. This is the cost of avoiding honesty. The longer you run from it, the harder it hits when it catches up. Now imagine a person who looks at themselves